Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are and whatever time of day or night you are watching this video. Hope you are well and welcome to your daily Forest news. Coming up, guys, on today's episode, Forest have been linked to yet another striker. We've got an update on an old striker link, and we have a midfielder who has snubbed Forest. And we'll be bringing you the latest update on Steve Cooper's contract because panic button has been hit by the internet and suddenly people are worried about why has he not yet signed. We'll explain it all to you today. Guys, before we jump into it, let's do a bit of housekeeping. Watch along, the big one. 2:30 we will be starting streaming it. Well, we'll be doing the watch along stream on this channel, so make sure you obviously, and you know the drill, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and the notifications, all the usual stuff. Following on as well, you can support the channel by clicking on the join button as well. We have memberships going from 99p. It'll give you badges, emotes, things like that. But more importantly, you'll help us by putting all this stuff together if you're enjoying it, but it's entirely up to you. With that said, guys, let's get into the video and talk about today's updates. Guys, suddenly overnight, the new flavour of the month across all the transfer rumour mills is Ajork. Ludwig Ajork, who is rumoured to be costing about 18 mil. What's interesting is this chap's price was 10 mil about 2 weeks ago after it had been lowered. And now suddenly, because 8 clubs are coming in for him or showing an interest, he's nearly doubled in price. The likes of Newcastle, West Ham and Everton have been watching him for a good few weeks now, and Forest were rumoured to have watched him in the match against Liverpool the other night. He's a 28-year-old striker, had a decent return, but for me, he's a bit lanky, a bit too slow, and a bit too old to fit the profile that Forest are currently looking at. With Strasbourg giving the green light for him to be sold, I think they're looking to initiate a pricing bidding war on him. He's not bad. He scored 12 goals and got 8 assists in the league last season for Strasbourg. But for me, I find it quite interesting that the likes of Newcastle would be in for him when they already have Callum Wilson and Chris Wood as well up front. So do they really need that type of profile player? So I don't really see him being that choice for Newcastle. However, Leicester are interested as well, and he could be a good fit in there with Vardy now requiring a wheelchair and a walking stick at his age, so this guy could come in and quite easily replace Vardy. Leicester do need to make some signings on the transfer market because they've done fuck all at the moment. However, for me, I'm not sold on him. For me, he's a bit too old at 28. Yes, he's coming into his prime, into his peak. He's just not really fitting that profile we're looking for. We've already got Lingard in the cam role, who's obviously 30 years old. And I think we need to surround him by youth so he can share his experience and develop them and help develop them further. Let me know what your thoughts are on this chap, Ajor. Let me know if I'm pronouncing it right. But I'd be interested to hear what you guys say about him. But for me, I think I'm now sold on this next guy to join Forest instead. I swore to myself after the 29th of May that I would never let my eyes be disdained to the sight of Championship football again. Yet yesterday I found myself watching Watford against Sheffield United. And boy did I take some joy in seeing Sheffield United lose yet again. Oh, the playoff hangover is still rife amongst them, and do they look crap without Morgan Gibbs-White? Anyway, that's not what we're about to talk about. We're about to talk about Emmanuel Dennis, who we've talked about for a hell of a lot. But I'm sure, and I've heard from a lot of Forest fans who may also have had a glance at the game yesterday, that they were rather impressed with Dennis, and I have to say I do agree. I thought he played exceptionally well in the front three. Star also looked quite good to me as well. However, do not get ahead of yourselves. He was playing against a shitty Sheffield United team who are still crying and salty about Brice Samba. So they're still in a recovery mode, so he was always going to look good last night. But he did actually play really well regardless of it being Sheffield United. I think this one is still on the cards for Forest, but neither Forest or Everton want to pay the 20 mil that is being quoted by Watford. This one is probably going to get done, but more towards the end of the window. I don't feel Forest are too urgently in a rush to push this one across. At the end of the day, we've got Owoni, Johnson and Surridge all pretty much at full fitness. So bringing Dennis in right now would be a bonus, but it's not critical to do in terms of actually getting him onto the pitch straight away. I think Forest are going to hold this one out unless we see a quick move in him from Everton. But Everton are cash strapped, so... Well, they're not cash strapped. It's more to do with the financial fair play. But either way, I just feel that this one still can get over the line, but it's going to be more towards the end of the window. And slowly but surely, I'm being sold round on him. Now, the quoted price is still around 20 million. I can see a deal more around the 15 million park being done for him. So, if you did watch the game last night, I'd be interested in your thoughts on him. I thought he was very good in his build-up play. His finishing was just a little off-polish. So let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below. This, guys, I promise you, will be the last time we ever talk about Aaron Ramsey this summer. And the news is going to please a lot of you who are against him. I wasn't. I was quite happy to see him as the squad player. We told you the other day that Ramsey had a contract offered to him from Charlotte FC at the MLS. He rejected it, which was indicating more and more that he was going to Forest. Come last minute, Nice from the French League to save you guys and offer him a contract which he has now accepted. Now, Forest never got to the ins and outs of discussing a contract with Ramsey, but discussions were had. So rejoice in the chat. If you were against Aaron Ramsey coming in, it is official. He's not coming. He's gone to Nice. End of discussion on Aaron Ramsey. And finally, for the news today, I want to talk about Sir Steve Cooper. Can't say his name without saluting him and what he has achieved. Guys, there has been a lot of fear and scaremongering going on around the internet about Steve Cooper. Why has he not signed his contract? What the hell is going on? He's going to leave us. All bollocks. Steve Cooper is absolutely fine. He has a contract agreed in principle with Forest from pretty much the start of the summer. However, it is a managerial tactic that they do not sign the contract until the window has been closed. The reason being, if they go and sign the contract, there is no element of fear from the hierarchy above to then go and back him or not back him. Which way around should I be? So, if he was to sign the contract, now this wouldn't have happened with Marinakis, but this is how it's always going to happen with managers. But the fact that the contract is still open and not signed means that he can assess the transfer window once it's closed and decide or feel that he has been backed or not backed by the club and then make his decision there. Now, his decision is already made. He is Forest. You grab a knife and you slit his wrists and it's going to bleed red. Well, it would bleed red anyway, but you know what I mean. So Steve Cooper, stop worrying. He will be there come the start of the season. That contract will be signed and he will be our biggest signing of the season. And I don't think any of you can argue with me on that. But don't believe all the rumours you're hearing. All is fine. It just is the way managers do it these days. Alrighty guys, that leaves us with just one thing to say. 4 days to go. This time, in 4 days and a couple of hours, Forest will have secured their first 3 points of the season. And of course, we will have it all for you from 2:30 on this channel. The full watch along. So make sure you are there to support the Reds. Guys, we have so much build-up content coming for you this week as well. So make sure, one, if you've approved of this video today, to like it. I mean, you can't like it for free, I guess. Well, technically you do. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and hit the bell and notification to make sure that you get the videos first. But keep an eye out for all the Newcastle build-up. We'll have their tactics, their new signings, strengths and weaknesses all coming up, as well as plenty of other things on the channel. Guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next video and come on you Reds!